Well, it's like everybody else. It's a long journey to get to where you are. I started off in engineering and mechanical stuff, and then I went into social sciences, and I thought that would be a good thing. And then one day I walked into a ceramics class after having seen one cup when I was in high school, and I really realized that I was better at this than most everybody else. But I really didn't commit to it until I almost died in a motorcycle accident, and I was lying in bed and realized that I'd almost died, and it was time to make a commitment to one thing that was really important. And if you're only going to go around once, you might as well do the thing that you're really good at and what you feel good at. The other way I could explain it is that when I got into ceramics art, I found my tribe. I found my people. And in my class, I see students who are finding their tribe, and that's a wonderful experience. All right, the way I teach ceramics is it's really the way you would teach a foreign language or the way you would teach physics or anything else. It's building blocks. I start with small projects that are designed to train people in the nature of the material and the limits of the material, and I slowly add more things. And as they get skills and knowledge, they have more freedom to express themselves. In the same way you would teach literature or a foreign language or physics or anything. And without the building blocks, I have students who come in who are really good at art in high school, and they just want to wing it without having to have any respect for the material or the process. And by teaching respect for the material and the process, I teach them about the real world and how you have limits in the real world, and you have to respect those limits. Okay, the great thing about the arts and ceramics in general is that it's teaching people how to use their brain and their hands. We have the 5 digits. Historically, humans, Homo sapiens, have been using these to manipulate clay for roughly 32,000 years, as far as we know. The oldest objects of clay, fired clay, that we have are roughly 30,000 years old. That's the oldest ones we've found so far. But the idea that you pick stuff up and you manipulate it and you create something out of it stimulates the brain, and it stimulates the skill, and it stimulates basically your understanding of the physical world. And it's surprising to me how many students these days that come in here they know how to use their thumbs, but not the rest of their hands. They don't know how to pick things up, they don't know how to manipulate things. And I feel that by learning how to manipulate things, it really increases their mental capacity to solve problems, especially in 3 dimensions.
Ceramics is really great because today it seems like we don't really create with our hands, and to build something out of a lump of clay, and you can really build anything you want in a sense, and I think it's just a really awesome thing to kind of have self-expression like that. And creating with a piece of clay is really exciting sometimes it's surprising what you come out with, and sometimes it's unpredictable. The clay, as you're learning, you try out different forms, and it can be surprising, and it can be a lot of fun to see what you create. And then there's even more combinations as you fire it. You can change your idea, and when it comes out of the kiln, it's always a surprise. And sometimes it feels like Christmas or something, or a holiday, to see how it comes out.
All right, what I hope my students come out of the class with, and what I'm thrilled with seeing it happen, is that my students come out of the class with a sense of mastery of the materials, a sense of accomplishment, a sense that they can solve problems and they can apply their intellect and their research and their skills to create wonderful things. The other thing is, when they come out of this class, I hope that they have learned that there are multiple perspectives on every piece of work that comes out of the class. In many cases, a student will expect a certain result, and it will not come out that way because ceramics is a very difficult medium. And they hate the piece because their expectations are so narrow. And I tell them to put that piece on the shelf let it sit there, stand back, and let other people react to it. And in many cases, other people will come by and say, oh, how did you do this? This is wonderful. And I hope that by seeing these different perspectives, they develop a flexibility of imagination, and as they approach other problems in their life.